What's up, guys? It's Dinger's Daily, and today we're here with Blue Jays pitcher Trent Thornton, and we're just gonna talk a little bit about his past 2 seasons in the big leagues. All right, so Trent, obviously, you went to UNC Chapel Hill. So, how did you make that decision?
When I was getting recruited in high school, I had a decent amount of offers, and I just remember sitting down with my family, my grandpa, and then Coach Bagwell at Kell, and kind of doing a little pros and cons from each college. And when it got down to it, North Carolina, had really good academics, really good baseball program, very prestigious school. So it was a pretty easy choice when you get down to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Trent, tell us a little about your draft day experience and getting drafted by the Astros.
So it was during the summer. I was home in Charlotte with my parents. Decent amount of family was there, and I get a call from my agent saying, "Hey, just be paying attention. The Astros are going to draft you next pick." And so my family had it on the TV, and it was actually pretty cool. Having a childhood dream come to fruition. I got to admit I was a little teary-eyed. My family was super excited. So, it was just another step in the process of making it to the big leagues, and got to start somewhere. So that was one of the best days of my life.
Mm-hmm. Now, before you could make your big league debut with the Houston, you actually got traded for Alemdis Diaz in like November of 2018. So, what was your initial reaction when you found out the trade went through?
Yeah, so I had just gotten done playing in the Arizona Fall League, and I just got home to Charlotte, flew home. I was kind of expecting to get put on the 40-man roster with the Houston Astros. So I was actually getting ready to go to a Davidson football game with my dad and my uncle, and I got a phone call from the Astros front office, and I'm thinking, oh, man, here it is. I'm going to get put on the 40-man. Only to be told that I just got traded to the Toronto Blue Jays, which, again, another blessing. And I just kind of blacked out because I was just kind of overwhelmed with all the information and stuff. And got a phone call from the Blue Jays, telling me, oh, we just traded for you. We're super excited to have you. And I'm listening, but not really hearing what they're telling me. So I had to call them back after I got off the phone. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Who was I speaking to? Kind of not really the most professional way to go about it, but it ended up being Ross Atkins, the GM, and he thought it was pretty funny. But it was definitely a blessing to get traded. Have another opportunity, with a team that needed me. So.
Okay. So what is the difference in the atmosphere comparing Houston to Toronto?
Well, you got to think Toronto's the only major league team, represented by Canada. So you're representing a whole entire country, which, you don't really think about until you get up there. And, that's the only team Canada roots for. So it's pretty cool. And, the fans are awesome. They're so nice and encouraging. It's really something special because no other team in the MLB has that.
Mm-hmm. So far with the Blue Jays in the bigs, you've worn number 57. Is there any particular reason you chose that number?
No, actually, my favorite number is 12, but that's retired Robbie Alomar.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave me 57 when I showed up to spring training. I was like, you know what, let's just ride this out, and I kind of got accustomed to it and like it now, so I'm just going to stick with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So in your MLB debut, you became the second pitcher in MLB history to have at least 8 strikeouts, no runs, no walks, and 2 hits or fewer in their debut. How was your emotions? How were you feeling, and was your family with you?
Yeah, so I probably had, I don't know, 30 to 40 family members up in Toronto for my debut, and obviously I'd just been ecstatic that I got called up or made the team out of spring training. So, you would think I was super nervous, but I was just more excited. All that hard work had finally paid off to, be able to show what I can do and that I can pitch in the big leagues. I couldn't really drawn it up any better with how I performed. And, it was super cool because all my family was there and we got to celebrate after the game and just be together, and all the sacrifices that my family's made to give me every opportunity that I've had. So it was just a really, really, really special moment.
So your whole rookie season, the 2019 season, you led the whole Blue Jays rotation in innings pitched, and just tell me how that was your whole rookie season.
Yeah, I mean, I've always prided myself in being healthy. Obviously last year wasn't quite that case, but being a rookie and having most innings pitched, I wanted to be able to go out there every day and give a team a chance to win. So, it was obviously a roller coaster, learning how to pitch in the big leagues rather than the minor leagues. The hitters are completely different. The game's a lot faster. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely, I was happy with being able to make it a full season. And, obviously I feel like I can do that every year out from now on.
Okay. Last season against the Giants, you got your first ever MLB win, and you also got 2 hits on the offensive side of the ball. How did the win feel, and how do you feel about the 2 hits as a pitcher?
It was actually pretty neat because I flew my parents out to San Francisco for that game. And, I've been chasing that first win for a while at that point. Had a couple really good starts, just got the no decision. And it was actually the first and only game I've been able to hit in the big leagues. And I was like, you know what, I haven't hit since I think it was my freshman year in college. I had 1 at bat and I was 1 for 1. So I was like, all right, man, I'm going to take that luck into this. And I actually didn't even swing and miss at a pitch. I fouled a couple off and ended up going 2 for 3 that game and led the team in batting average that year. But it was really awesome to get both of those at the same time, especially with my parents being there. It's like, you can't really dream of those things, it just happens. And it was really neat.
Out of all the players on the Blue Jays, who would you say is your closest friend or best friend on the team?
That's tough. We have such a good group of guys. And obviously in baseball, guys are coming and going, pretty much every year throughout the year. My rookie year, I would say Clay Buchholz was the biggest mentor towards me, but he's obviously not with the Blue Jays anymore. And then my best friend on the team was Thomas Pannone, but he's now with the Angels. So it's kind of hard because there's so many good guys on the team that it's just a great group and we gel so well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so who's your favorite baseball player of all time?
Roy Halladay was definitely my favorite pitcher of all time. Just loved his competitiveness and, he was just a true competitor and, he was super reliable, always getting deep into games. And, I just aspire to be what he was.
All right. So of the 2, I mean, it doesn't have to be MLB, but of all the years you played baseball, what is your favorite moment of yourself?
I would say there's probably 2 that come to mind. Freshman year when we at Carolina, when we clinched to go to Omaha and getting to pitch in Omaha, that was really my first taste of pitching on a really big stage. And then obviously debuting in the big leagues, being a 4-year-old little kid, just dreaming to pitch in the big leagues one day and finally making that happen. Probably 2 of my best baseball memories.
Okay. So because of the COVID-19 pandemic, the whole MLB got an extended off season. So what did you do to stay healthy and stay fit at home?
There's actually a pretty big group of guys in minor leagues and in the big leagues that live in Charlotte in the off season. So we would get together and work out and we'd do live BPs where pitchers are facing hitters, trying to stay fresh and ready for spring training and ready for the season. So it was a pretty good setup. We'd all actually get up together at Audrey Kell and kind of have scrimmages where, pitchers are able to do their thing. Hitters are able to see live pitches and kind of get their timing ready for spring training and stuff like that. So it's pretty neat when you get to work out with a bunch of other guys that do what you do.
So how did this season feel, especially because of the whole COVID-19 situation, all the new protocols you had to follow? So how's this season different?
it was pretty tough last year just because there were so many rules and regulations, and it was very doable, which obviously was done, but it made things a little bit more complicated. But we're just hoping that this year can go by a little bit more smoothly, and COVID can finally be over. But yeah, I mean, it was definitely tough to deal with.
Okay. So back in August, you got injured because of elbow inflammation. So how was the whole rehab process?
So what ended up happening is I had 4 bone spurs removed from my elbow. So I had to have surgery, I think, at the very beginning of September to remove 4 bone spurs that basically I couldn't straighten or bend my arm, which obviously affect the way that I pitch. But Dr. Andrews did the surgery and did a really good job. I'm already throwing close to 100% now. I should be ready to go 100% for the season. But that was really the first time in my life where I've gotten, injured enough to where I couldn't make starts in the season. So it was very tough mentally, but obviously, going to come back stronger, and my arm's feeling good now. So just looking at the positive side of everything, going to be good to go this year.
So I heard they renovated the Dunedin complex, and it looks really good. Have you got a chance to see that?
Yeah, I've actually been working out there since I've been down here, and it's fantastic. It's, I mean, top notch. The weight room, the locker room, everything is immaculate. It's a really big change from the other facility.
Okay. So this year, or last year, you can say, because we're in the off season now, the Blue Jays made the postseason with a 32-28 record. So how did making the first step to being a World Series contender feel?
It was awesome. I mean, like I said, we have such a good group of guys, and our core is so strong. And obviously, we've made some pretty big acquisitions this offseason. So, I mean, I really think that not only are we going to compete this year, but we're going to win and really surprise a lot of people because our lineup is completely stacked. Our pitching staff's good. Our bullpen's good. Like, I really think that we're going to do more than just compete. We're going to win a lot of games this year.
So do you guys know, will you be playing in Dunedin or Toronto this year, or you still don't know?
No, we still don't know. Still kind of waiting for the Canadian government to give us an okay or not. So that's, obviously tough to deal with, but it is what it is and kind of out of our control. So we just got to roll with the punches when it comes to that.
Okay. So what is your opinion about the Blue Jays front office signing George Springer, Kirby Yates, and Tyler Chatwood?
I mean, I love it. Just shows that we're in a place where we're ready to win. They're taking the necessary steps to make this, a World Series contention type team, and all the pieces are starting to fall together, and it's going to be a lot of fun this season, seeing what we're going to be able to do.
What are some goals for you personally for the 2021 season?
I'd like to remain a starter, make every single start this season, get as deep in the games as I can, have quality starts and just help the team win. I mean, any way possible. Just stay healthy and be out there every time, being able to pitch.
All right, everyone. That's all the time we have with Trent today. Thank you to Trent for coming out here and doing the interview with us. Hope you have a great season in 2021 with the Jays. It's been English Daily, guys. Stay safe. Have a great rest of your day, and bye.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.